All right, we are live on YouTube, and tonight I'm going to be discussing the latest blog by YouTube CEO Susan Wojcicki. So you are not going to want to miss a single minute of this show. All of that and much, much more is coming right. Whoa! From Northern California, welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli. And if this is your first time here, and most importantly, you are open to suggestions and change, please consider subscribing and then banging that bell. And after you bang that bell, when that pop-up box pops up, make sure you select all notifications, because that way you won't miss a single thing. You will not miss anything when it comes to getting a better grip on your life. And also make sure on your smartphone, your tablet, your iPhone, your Android, or anywhere that you have the YouTube app installed on, you must also make sure that the YouTube app is set to receive those notifications at a device level. You do all of that and you're all set. You are all set to go. All right. Welcome to the show, everyone. Welcome to the show. I'm going to get to it fairly quickly tonight because this is a pretty long blog that the CEO of YouTube, Susan Wojcicki, released several days ago. I believe it was on June 11th, and now it is the 18th, so that's about a week ago. And I really wanted to dissect this much sooner, but so many things came up. I had so many other things to do, and plus, most of you that have been watching me for a while know that I've been a bit sore lately because of hiking. I also pinched a nerve, so I'm dealing with the pins and needles feeling, and so I've just had so much to deal with that I'm now just finally able to get to it. But I have to say, it was quite an interesting blog, and there's so much to dissect and put my own spin on the thing, and to share my feedback and compare it to, you know, how the CEO of this wonderful company that we all, you know, participate on out here called YouTube. All right, we've got some people flooding the chat right now. All right, let me check out the chat real quick before I get right to this. Let's see, Mutt Nuts World's in the house. Hey, Eli and everyone. Hey, Mutt, how are you doing? Queen Helen Casey's in the house. Hello, Eli. Smash the like button for Eli. Thank you, Queen. Mutt says, hey, Queen. Queen says, hey, Mutt. Now, let me just make sure that the notification went out. The notification did go out. And let me just check the stream health. Looks like it is excellent. And we are rocking and rolling. All right. So without further ado, let me just get right to it, because it may take me an hour and a half or 2 hours to get through it. Hopefully not that long. If I get through halfway and it's taking me an hour to get through it halfway, I will take a break. If I power through it a little bit quicker, depending on the amount of commentary I do, then I may just power through this whole stream here without a break. So let's just play it by ear and see how it goes. Let's switch over to the browser screen here. And folks, if you would like to take a look at this blog or any future blogs or past blogs, just do a Google search for YouTube official blog. And you know, do a Google search, like I said, for YouTube official blog, and then you will find this blog here as the latest blog, and then you can go back and read other blogs as well to kind of compare and see, how YouTube has improved since the last time the CEO of YouTube did a blog. Hey, Clifford Starks. Hey, brother, says Clifford. How you doing, bro? Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here. Much appreciated. So let's just get right to this. All right. Susan Wojcicki, my mid-year update to the YouTube community. Thursday, June 11th, 2020. Several times a year, Several times a year, CEO Susan Wojcicki updates users and creators on YouTube's priorities. This letter addresses initiatives to support the Black community, the impact of COVID-19, and how YouTube is working on behalf of creators. Well, yeah, I have a lot to say about all of that because it shouldn't be just about the Black community or COVID-19. I love the Black community and I understand, the seriousness of COVID-19, but there's a lot more going on than that. And there are many more issues than just those two issues, Susan. So no disrespect, a lot of love for you. Now, before I get into the actual part of the blog there, that was like the prelude there. Let me just get to the top here. Let me share my thoughts about Susan Wojcicki when I first heard about her. When I first heard about Susan Wojcicki, it was on my former channel that I used to run. I started that channel about 3.5, almost 4 years ago. And it was a time where advertisers were starting to pull out from YouTube because advertisers were having their content or their ads placed on videos that they didn't, want placed on. For example, let's say there's an advertiser that sells tampons and advertises that on a male channel that hates women. How is that going to, make the women react? They're not going to be happy about it. So the advertiser said, unless you, YouTube and Google are able to figure out a system where you can selectively place these ads according to the type of content we want them on, we're going to pull out. And during that time, I was monetized on my older channel where you only needed 10,000 views to get monetized, to qualify for monetization. And they sent an email out to everyone currently in the partner program that did not reach a new threshold they just set back then, a couple years back, like maybe 2.5, 3 years ago. They changed the rules to what they are today. You need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 minimum watch hours, public watch hours in the previous 12 months. Well, I ended up, I had the watch time already. I ended up getting to 1,000 subscribers on the last day to qualify for the new threshold, and YouTube still demonetized me. So I was quite upset about that. And I tried many ways to have YouTube help me rectify that and keep my monetization status alive, but nothing was working. So I was pretty ticked off at Susan and her crew, and I really wasn't too happy about what happened back then. And to a certain extent, I'm not that happy about how that was handled. But I am a lot more understanding regarding it today because I know YouTube was going through a lot, and they've been through a lot. So, I had some choice words to say about Susan in the past, but I take them all back because I didn't give her a fair chance to get to know her. I also didn't understand the degree and the challenges the degree of difficulty and the challenges she has running YouTube. YouTube is unlike any other beast you're going to run. And for it to be even running at the level it's running today, I have to commend a CEO such as Susan Wojcicki. I mean, she's dealt with so many things. In the past, YouTube dealt with copyright issues. They had to find a way to get a system to stop copyright infringement, right? And to give copyright owners a way to protect their content. That's where Google and YouTube created the Content ID system, right? And that's how you get your Content ID claims and all of that stuff today, right? Okay, so they fixed that issue. Okay, then they had the monetization issue. They fixed that issue, okay? And then they had the COPPA issue, the Children Online Privacy Protection Act issue. They dealt with that. They moved through that. They pushed through that. And there have been many other things. There was even that crazy lady a few years ago that got demonetized on YouTube for the type of content she was putting out there, and drove all the way from Southern California to Northern California and started shooting up the YouTube headquarters in San Bruno, which is not too far from where I live here in the San Francisco Bay Area. So this company has been through the ringer. And due to all of that, I have a great understanding of Susan's responsibility. And I do firmly believe she's trying to do the best she can to fix all the issues. And while I feel she's done a lot and the company's done a lot over the past few years to fix many things, certain things still have not been fixed. They've gotten a little better, but they have not been fixed. And one of them is hate speech, vulgar language, inappropriate content, etc. And that's where I'm going to focus most of my reaction to this, because that's what really gets to me. And when you're talking about, Black Lives Matter and the Black community and the impact of COVID-19, pretty much with the Black community, you're dealing with hate. COVID-19, you're dealing with a sensitive issue that's a pandemic. So, but primarily, my take on this is going to be, regarding cyberbullying and harassment, hate speech and vulgar language, inappropriate content, etc., and how YouTube has handled it in the past, how they're handling it today, and has it gotten any better, as they stated they would make it better when they changed their harassment rules late last year. Got a lot to talk about this, so let's just get right to it. Give me 1 second. Let me check out the chat and see if anyone else is here. Muttnuts World says, hey, Clifford. Queen says, hello, Clifford. Clifford says, hi, Queen and Muttnut. Okay, let's get right to this here. In the last few months, we've experienced enormous tragedy and loss. Absolutely. We're talking about George Floyd. We're talking about the COVID-19 pandemic. There's just a lot of stuff going on. I did a video many weeks ago stating that, 2020, the first half of 2020 has been the worst start to any year since I've been alive. And many people agreed with that. And yeah, it's just been pretty sad. So yeah, that makes sense. As people around the world have felt the devastating impact of the COVID-19 crisis, they've dealt with illness, loneliness, unemployment, and juggled added responsibilities with kids at home. What added responsibilities do they have with the kids at home? Susan, the fact that they got to teach their kids how to stay safe from COVID. The way I look at that, to be honest with you, it's another illness, just like the common cold. Now, I understand it's a little more serious because there isn't, a vaccine for it yet. But how much more difficult does it make for parents to, take care of their kids? How much more responsibility has COVID put on the parents of children? I mean, it's just another thing that they need to make their children aware, in my opinion, but that's okay. You have your opinion. I have mine. I understand, people have been getting sick. Some people have been dying. My opinion about that, the people with the weaker immune systems, that are not able to fight off, the common cold as easily. They're the ones that I've seen perish from this, but I've also seen other people. Most noteworthy, Chris Como of CNN. He had the COVID-19 virus, and he wasn't feeling that great, but he recovered from it, and now he's doing quite fine. He's a guy in great shape, takes care of himself, and his immune system fought it off. Loneliness, I get that because, we've, had to get accustomed to social distancing. Social distancing has been something that's been driving me crazy. I've done it as best as possible, but lately I started to put myself back out there and hang around people. It just sucks not being able to be around people. So I get that. Unemployment, yeah, a lot of jobs, were lost because of the fact that our government shut down. Businesses are restricted. Businesses such as restaurants, they can only do takeout and drive-through or delivery, right? And most, retailers are doing curbside, contactless curbside pickup, kind of like what Best Buy has been doing. I had to go to Best Buy to get a couple of items throughout this COVID thing, and you purchase the product online. You pull up right to the front, and they bring it right to your car. Actually, that's pretty simple. That's that's even easier than having to run into the store. But or you can have it delivered. But if you want it that same day and you don't want to wait a day or two for it to be delivered, you basically buy the product online. You pull up to the front of Best Buy, and then these dudes come out there in masks, and then they drop off. You roll down your window, and they drop off your product on the passenger side. It's very simple. It's actually easier than going to the store, I said, but it also makes us all very lazy. So I totally understand the impact it's had on all of us. And over the past few weeks, we've grieved together as the Black community has endured more senseless acts of racial terror and violence. That's true. The Floyd thing has been really, really a crazy thing. The George Floyd thing did really bother me. It kind of reminded me of the Martin Luther. I keep saying Martin Luther King, the Rodney King days in L.A. But those policemen now are paying the price, as they should, and hopefully the disciplinary action taken against the Minneapolis Police Department that killed George Floyd, hopefully that sets the tone for all other agencies of the law, not only across the country here in the U.S., but all over the world. I hope that sets the tone for it. All right. We know that for many, tragedies like these are a persistent reminder of the harm caused by systematic racism. Yeah, it's true. That's true. Like, I love everyone equally, Susan. It doesn't matter to me if you're Black, white, Asian, Hispanic. It doesn't matter if you're male or female, gay, straight, lesbian, bi, trans, gender nonconforming. It doesn't matter to me. I only care about one thing, Susan, and everyone else. I only care about how good of a person you are, how big of a heart you have, and how considerate you are to other people's wants and needs besides your own. So I get it. Yeah, systematic racism is pathetic, Susan. It's just absolutely ridiculous. It's pathetic. And basically, I feel the people that, spew out hate and racism or racial slurs and they're racists are the people that don't love themselves, and they have to project their insecurities onto people such as the Black community. It's really sad. They also compound the toll of the pandemic, which disproportionately impacted Black and brown communities in the U.S. and abroad. Okay, I get it. All right, fair enough. Makes sense. Hang on a second here. At YouTube, we believe Black Lives Matter, and we all need to do more to dismantle systematic racism. Well, Susan, I agree with you that Black lives do matter. One of my best friends is Black. His name is Troy. He's a damn good dude. And Troy, if you're watching this, I know we have to talk soon. I have been recovering from a pinched nerve, and I have very minimal energy right now, which is why I haven't called you back yet. I'm using any bit of energy I have left to do at least one short stream every day to keep my YouTube channel on the forefront. As soon as I recover, Troy, I will be contacting you. But you know what? While I agree that Black lives do matter, Asian lives matter as well, Hispanic lives matter as well, Caucasian lives matter as well. Everyone's lives matter. So I understand the reason why, Susan, you felt the need to say Black lives matter, because the Black community, the African American community, has been treated more unfairly and more unjust than any other culture ever. And I get that. And especially after this George Floyd thing, I totally understand that. But I want to make it very clear that I feel everyone's lives matters. So I just had to say that. When I first read that, I was like, I know Susan was not trying to single out just the fact that Black lives matter, but that's the way, as someone could perceive it that way. It's written in that way, but I know she doesn't mean it that way. We join in protest against the murders of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, and so many others before them. Okay, yeah, I understand. I understand that. The painful events of this year have reminded us of the importance of human connection and the need to continue to strengthen human rights around the world. Our platform has been a place where people come together since YouTube first launched 15 years ago. And in the midst of uncertainty, creators continue to share stories that might not otherwise be heard while also building online communities. Yeah, no, and I appreciate the fact that YouTube allows us to share these stories, no matter how sensitive they are. Now, there are a lot of people out there, Susan, saying that YouTube is silencing people, especially the conservative community is saying that, YouTube and other social media platforms are silencing conservative speech. And that's the furthest thing from the truth, because I'm a slight left liberal. Okay, I know you're liberal as well, Susan. I know that for a fact. But regardless, it wouldn't matter. I still respect you. I don't base my respect for people on their political views. But, as a slight left liberal, I talk a lot about controversial topics. The same controversial topics that a lot of these conservatives talk about that get their channels shut down or get silenced, right? So why are they getting silenced and I'm not? They're saying, oh, because you're a liberal and YouTube has the liberal agenda. No, that's not the case. I just don't spew racial slurs. I speak about things professionally, properly, and I stick to the facts, and I don't attack anybody. I just state my opinions properly, professionally, and maturely, right? So that's the difference right there. And a lot of these conservatives don't realize how hateful they're coming off with the way they're presenting the same exact material I present that never gets taken down and is even fully monetized. That's the difference right there, folks. That's the difference right there. Now, before I get to the next section here, let me check out the chat and see what's going on in there. All right, let's see. Queen Helen Casey says, scandemic. I know you keep saying that, Queen. I believe you. Queen Helen Casey says, I don't believe CNN, Criminal News Network. Oh, I probably wouldn't go as far and say that, but I can understand your thoughts and feelings regarding the mainstream media, Queen. I understand that. George Floyd is false flag. I wish people would do their research. What do you mean by that, Queen? Okay. Let me just see one more thing here. All right, let's move forward here. Thank you for your opinions, folks, in the chat. Now, please feel free to state your opinions in the chat. If I don't read certain messages, it is because, I want to abide by the YouTube terms of service and the guidelines. I don't want to get demonetized, but I do value your opinions, folks. So if I skip over any particular chat message and don't read it out, it's for obvious reasons. I just want to, be in compliance with the YouTube partner program, community guidelines, and all that stuff as well. All right, so supporting the Black community. We have always been proud that we are a platform that celebrates a broad and diverse set of voices. That's true. I'm white. Like, if anything, Susan, no disrespect, I feel I'm the one getting the short end of the stick. I'll mention more about that in a bit. I feel like I may be the minority now, I'm not hurt by it. I'm just stating my opinion. I mean, like, it seems like certain communities are getting a lot more attention. And as we go through this blog, well, you're going to see this here in a second. You're going to see what I'm talking about. Okay. And we have implemented many policies and product features to protect our communities. But we recognize we need to do more, in particular with the Black community. And that is why we are committing to the following actions. Listen, Susan, I respect what you're trying to do for the Black community, for the African Americans. but I think you need to do more for the overall platform. I think the overall platform, needs a little bit more. And when we focus it on just one group of people, I'm not saying it's a bad thing because I respect and love everyone, but I feel the same should be done for all cultures. If not, we're basically singling out one culture, and we're kind of doing something for more of a PR move. And I'm not saying that you're directly doing this for a PR, a public relations move, but that's how many people are going to perceive it. I'm just leaving an open mind and stating my opinion. Amplifying Black voices. We're committed to doing better as a platform to center and amplify Black voices and perspectives. How about you amplify my channel? I work hard every single day. How about we amplify Black voices, white voices, Asian voices, Hispanic voices, Russian voices, whatever, right? I could show you some amplification on my YouTube channel. My view's been cut in half. And I bust my butt. I do everything the right way. I'm consistent. I have great thumbnails, titles, tags, descriptions. I have great quality equipment, great content. I'd love to get amplified too. Anyway, today we're announcing a multi-year $100 million fund dedicated to amplifying and developing the voices of Black creators and artists and their stories. How about we donate money to the entire platform and help everyone equal? Again, I understand the serious nature of what's happened to the Black community lately. I understand the seriousness of Black Lives Matters, or Black Lives Matter, I mean. And I'm all for it. I'm supportive of it. But I'm going to be honest with you, Susan, and everyone else that's reading this and seeing this. I feel left out. I feel as a Caucasian man, I'm being singled out. That's how I feel. It just, I'm slightly on the left, but my opinion regarding this, I think this is a little too liberal extremish in my opinion. I have to be honest. Like, nothing wrong with what they're doing, but why not do that for everyone? Why not make it fair and equal for everyone? And one example of the type of content we'd like to elevate on the platform will premiere this Saturday, June 13th. And I didn't even get a chance to see that. I may check it out. I did see it. I did get the email on it, though. We'll host a live stream fundraising event produced by YouTube Originals YTO. Bear witness, take action. The YTO will bring together creators, artists, influential public figures, and prominent activist voices for roundtable discussions and musical performances with donations benefiting the Equal Justice Initiative. Okay, great thing. Very good thing. Okay. Give me a second here. Through the month of June, our Spotlight channel will highlight racial justice issues, including the latest perspectives from the Black community on YouTube alongside historical content, educational videos, and protest coverage. The content showcases incredibly important stories about the centuries-long fight for equity. I agree that things, are not as equal and fair as they should be for the Black community. And I'm all for doing whatever it takes to change that. But there are many other communities of people and races of people that are having issues. And where is our support? Or do we just have to fend for ourselves? Because technically, we're not supposed to have any issues as Caucasian people, right? I'm not whining and complaining. I'm being honest. Being honest. Like, if I was Black, if I was African American, I could sit here and talk about this and probably blow up my YouTube channel and get tons of views, right? But because I'm not black, if I talk about it, I'm not going to get the same impact on my channel, right? I'm just saying, I'm just stating my opinion. I'm not angry. I'm not bitter. It's just the way it is. And I wish there could be a way where we could have equality and freedom for all, regardless of who you are or where you come from. And the next part's going to be an interesting part here. Let me get the chat here and see what's going on. Queen Helen Casey. George Soros has funded all of the rats and looters. He spent millions of dollars. Okay. Okay, let's continue here. Actually, give me just 1 second here. Protection from hate and harassment. Oh, this is my favorite subject here because I continue to be attacked and harassed on this platform. And I take all the steps to report these people, and 99.9% of the time, nothing is done about it with content that clearly violates the terms of service. Clearly. We've taken many steps over the years to help protect diverse communities from hate and harassment across the platform, including black creators and artists. Okay, so what about white people? Are we susceptible to the same thing? If we're attacked and we're called things and we flag those, aren't you supposed to take those videos down too? Well, you're not most of the time. Why not? But from what I've seen, when it involves the African American community and people flag them, they get taken down. What I'd like to hear from YouTube is, how do they actually review flags for hate speech, vulgar language, inappropriate content, cyberbullying, and harassment? Because I've been so harassed on this platform, it's ridiculous. And I've done everything that YouTube says to do to combat it and to stop it. And even though YouTube had a blog that was put out late last year saying that they're going to take a stricter approach towards creator-to-creator hate, let me tell you something, Susan. It's gotten worse, and it hasn't gotten that much better on your end of stopping this. Hasn't. I've done so many things to try to stop these people from coming at me. I've contacted creator support. I get the runaround, right? First, I get the generic messages. Then they say they're gonna, they're gonna forward it to a specialist, right? Then it takes several weeks, right? And then I get a generic message back saying that the situation has been handled, but nothing was done about it because the same people are still doing the same things, getting away with it. Right? I've used the report tool to report these channels. Okay? I flagged these videos for bullying and harassment, for hate speech and vulgar language, for, even sexually explicit content where it's clearly sexually explicit and you folks don't remove them. Why not? Why have guidelines and rules if they're not going to be, if you're not going to take action on people that violate them, which is what I'm trying to say. Our updated hate speech policy specifically bans videos alleging that a group is superior based on qualities like race, gender, religion, or sexual orientation in order to justify discrimination, segregation, or exclusion. Well, that's one aspect of hate speech. There are many other aspects of it that I've been dealing with. It's been harming my brand. It's been affecting me from growing here and having the same fair opportunities that other YouTubers have had. Because these people are allowed to continue attacking my channel and attacking my brand and making videos that other people that would normally come over here see, and then they get scared away from coming here. I think, Susan, you and your company do a better job at focusing on the entire hate speech, vulgar language, inappropriate content, and bullying and harassment aspects of your company. And I think you need to react to it more than you are. I think you need to have a full staff that handles just that aspect. And they need to be responded to much more quickly, within 24 hours or less, not within a week or two or a month down the road, right? And sometimes, when you flag something, maybe it goes to an employee that wasn't trained properly, or you thought they were trained properly, but they ended up being a rogue employee, right? There's got to be more done. Because platforms like Facebook and platforms like Facebook, Twitter, etc., when you report something, Susan, literally in less than an hour, typically within 15 to 30 minutes, they get on it right away. And Facebook has about the same amount of users that YouTube has. So what's their excuse? They don't have one, right? I thought when you put out this updated hate speech policy last year, yes, I remember it, that things were going to get better. Initially, they started getting a little better, and then they got worse. It hasn't changed that much. Maybe a little bit, but it hasn't changed that much. It's almost not even worth flagging anybody because nothing's ever done about it, right? Now, I understand some flags are false flags, but I'm talking about legitimate flags that clearly violate your terms of service. As a result of these changes and our ongoing enforcement, last quarter alone, we removed over 100,000 videos and 100 million comments for hate and harassment. Well, it's not good enough. Where are the ones I flagged? I could sit here right now and play at least 30 videos made about me that completely violate your terms of service in more ways than one. But there are two reasons why I won't do that, Susan. Number one, these people would file a copyright strike on me because they want to try to take me down, just because they hate me. They don't like me just because I'm a good person, right? And they don't love themselves. And number two, if I did share them and I didn't get a copyright strike for sharing them, then I would be flagged and taken down probably for hate speech and vulgar language. When in essence, their original video should be the one that's being taken down. Oh, Susan, I appreciate your next line. That said, we know there's more work to do. Oh, there's a lot more work to do, and we're willing to help you, Susan. The community is willing to help you. That said, we know there's more work to do. Building on our work over the past several years, we're taking this moment to examine how our policies and products are working for everyone, but specifically for the Black community, and close any gaps. Again, I understand why we're specifically focusing on the Black community right now. I get it. But why not focus on the overall platform and fix it all at the same time? Now, maybe, Susan, you're stating it this way as a PR move or as a politically correct way of saying it. I don't blame you for stating it the PC way because you are the CEO of one of the largest companies in the world, and I understand you don't want to get any scrutiny. But what I really hope you're doing is closing the gaps for all creators despite their race, age, sex, national origin, sexual orientation, etc. Everyone's lives matter, including mine and yours, Susan. You're Caucasian like me. So I understand why you're doing it the way you're doing it. If I was a CEO of YouTube, which I would never want that responsibility, it's a lot of work, I would be supporting the Black community. But what I would also have added in this blog is that while we are focused right now on the Black community, because we understand that this is not right and we want to stand up for the Black community. We're not leaving out. We're not segregating any other communities. We just need to focus a little bit more on this now for obvious reasons. I would respect that a lot more if it was stated that way. But I understand from a PC standpoint, politically correct, as a CEO of YouTube, one of the largest companies in the world, that's how you have to do it. I get it. I wonder if there's an editor that edits these or if Susan just writes this and puts it out. That's what I'd be curious to know. Because I wouldn't want anyone to edit my shit if I was a CEO. I would just want to put it out there and be real with people. I'm not saying you're not, Susan. You've done great, but, you know, this whole thing's kind of bugging me a little bit. And more broadly, we will work to ensure Black users, artists, and creators can share their stories and be protected from hateful, white supremacist, and bullying content. Let me tell you something. I'm glad you mentioned white supremacists, because if this video gets demonetized for saying these words that you clearly are addressing in your blog, Susan, then I will contest this. And if it gets denied, saying that it's confirmed by manual review, that it's not suitable for most advertisers, then I'm going to keep fighting until it's reversed. I'm doing this in a very professional way. There are a lot of people that have attacked me that, in my opinion, are white supremacists. And they bully people solely on that fact. And I've been reporting these people day in and day out, and absolutely nothing happens. And the funny thing with this COVID thing, Susan, like, there was one channel that literally got 10 community guideline violations and only one strike because of the COVID thing. You're giving people chances due to the fact that, you know, your systems may not get it right, or a human reviewer may not be able to review it as quickly. There are people right now during this COVID thing that are taking advantage of that. And the only reason why their channels are not shut down is because of that COVID loophole. I think what we need to do is put all YouTube systems back in full force and start taking action on these people. You said it yourself here. And more broadly, we will work to ensure Black users, artists, and creators can share their stories and be protected from hateful, white supremacist, and bullying content. I agree with you, Susan. So what are we going to do about it? What are we going to do about it? This is talk. Where's the action? I'll see the action when the stuff I flag that I know 100% violates your terms of service in many ways gets taken down. Until then, I'm not seeing anything. Doesn't matter how many numbers are thrown my way. Generations of Black Americans have been waiting for justice in the United States, and we know the effect of inequality is felt around the world. I understand that. Now, there are a lot of people where I live here in California that are not racist. I have a lot of white friends. They love everybody equally just like me. But there are a lot of people out there that are racist. But I'll tell you this, we've come a long way. We've come a long way since the days of Martin Luther King. We still have a long way to go, but we've come a long way. Because it used to be worse. So I get this. We need to continue further heading in the right direction. And I think in my opinion, once, once the baby boomers and the Gen Xers are gone, like me, the millennials and the post-millennials, I have a feeling they're going to be less prejudiced. I think a lot of the racism from me comes from middle-aged Caucasian men. That's just what I've seen out here on YouTube, Susan, and that's what I've seen in my real life. And they're typically conservative extremists. That middle-aged Caucasian conservative extremist men. That's what I've seen. That's what I've been dealing with out here on YouTube. The middle-aged conservative Caucasian, extremist men. They're the ones that attack me. They even had some choice words to say about me regarding being a liberal sacker. You know what? I don't want to say it. I'm committed to listening to Black employees at YouTube, to Black creators, to Black artists, to leaders in the Black community, and to Black users who tune into YouTube every day. Are you willing to listen to a white YouTuber? I'm being a little facetious, Susan. I'm being sarcastic. At the same time, I'm kind of not. I get what you're saying. I get how you wrote this. I am one of the most loyal YouTube users out there. That's worked hard to get to where I'm at. I barely have 4K subscribers. My channel stagnated. I monetize. I create content all the time. I do it the right way. I work hard. Yet I feel I don't have a voice. So every time I try to fix the issues to better my voice out here, and when I say fix the issues, I mean report the people that are doing damage to my channel right in front of your company's face, and nothing's done about it. Nothing's done about it. There's much work to do to advance racial equity in the long term, and these efforts will continue in the months and years ahead. Let me see where we're at right now. We're at 46 minutes. Gia Love, it's a tough subject. Okay, let me read this here. Let me read the chat. Alex, the Beer Master's in the house. Hey, Alex, the Beer Master. What is up? What's up, Eli? Hey, Alex says Mutt Nuts World. Queen Helen Case says, hello, Alex. Alex, the Beer Master says, what's up? Everyone in the chat. Hey, Alex. Hey, Gia Love. Doesn't the First Amendment protect all speech? Well, Gia Love, that doesn't include hate speech and vulgar language. And it doesn't include, inappropriate content and all that. That's different. The First Amendment protects your freedom of speech within your own home, within your own domain. If you're in someone else's house, it's totally different. They have their own rules. I have mine. YouTube has theirs. If someone were to come into my house and spew racial hate, especially if I had my best friend over that's Black, I would kick them out. They'd be out, and they'd never be welcome back again. Queen Ellen Case, it's supposed to, but unfortunately Susan Wojcicki is deep state and she don't care, Gia. No, Queen, I don't think that Susan Wojcicki doesn't care. I think she has to be somewhat politically correct as the CEO of YouTube. Instead of creating more issues, she has to kind of appease the situation by writing her blog the way she did. But this whole entire blog has been about, putting in more effort to the Black community, which is great. I'm all for the extra effort to the Black community, and I get why they're doing it because of what happened. But what about me? What about the Caucasians, the Asians, the Hispanics, everyone else? I mean, I got to go back and watch some videos where people reacted to her blog. I'm sure they're out there. I haven't looked for them, but tonight I'm going to look for them because I'm wondering if there are other YouTube creators that are not African American or Black that feel the same way I do. Again, not taking anything away from the Black community. I support you and understand what's going on. But can we make it fair and equal for everyone? Gia Love, well, that's not good at Queen. Muttnuts World, yes, we have freedom of speech, Gia, but hate speech is not good. It's not good at all. Would you rather live a hateful life, or would you rather be a positive person and enjoy life in a happy and peaceful state and relaxed state. What do you want? Gia Love, it's not good at mutt nuts, but we don't really need protection against nice speech. That's true. That's true, Gia Love. We need protection against racists and supremacists and haters and people that are emotionally and mentally unstable, that don't believe in do unto others as you would want done upon you, right? And when these people run their mouths and then the repercussion hits them one way or another, then and only then will they learn their lesson, right? Gia, hate speech is just a verbal form of bullying. That's a good way to put it, Mutt. Mutt Nuts World, all ethnicities have racism against their own ethnicity as well as against other ethnicities, and it's said that the world has people like that. Okay, it's your opinion. Gia Love, it is a tough subject to deal with at Mutt Nuts, but we need those protections. All right, good point, Gia. Queen Helen Casey, in Susan Wojcicki's case, no, she won't listen. That's why she is deep state. She's working for one of the largest companies in the world that does video. And I actually like a lot of the things she's done for YouTube over the last few years. In this case, the way this blog was written, I understand why she wrote it the way she wrote it. But the way it's coming off to me is that she's making it all about one community and focusing $100 million into that one community. But what about the rest of us? Can we get a fund, Susan, too, to help us move forward? Can we get a boost in the YouTube algorithm? Especially people like me that bust my butt every day with good content, great quality audio and video, right? Consistency, great thumbnails, titles, descriptions, tags. Life's not fair, folks. Gia Love says, why does everything have to be about black and white? It's so tiring. Exactly, Queen says Gia Love as well. Mutt Nuts World says, I come from a family that has many ethnicities, and I was raised that if I cut myself, if someone from another ethnicity cuts themselves, we both bleed the same color. Gia Love says, why is it great if everybody wants to qualify, and why should any race or ethnicity be treated in a special way? I agree with you, Gia Love. Gia Love, I'm just curious. I love everyone equally. I think you've heard me say that already. What ethnicity are you, by the way? I'm curious to know. Are you Caucasian? Are you African American? Are you Hispanic, Asian, mixed? Queen Helen Casey, I have a feeling YouTube will end up back in Forbes magazine again. Probably. Let me read one more section here, then I'm going to take a break and come back and finish up the rest, because there's still a ways to go here. Let me see how much more we have. Oh yeah, we still have a ways to go. Jesus Christ. You know what? I may end up doing a part 2 on this tomorrow. This is really long. This is really long. I'm probably going to do a part 2 on this. Connecting people with useful information responsibly. Over the past few months, another top priority has been connecting people to our trusted information as the coronavirus pandemic spread around the globe. Our team started by engaging with public health officials in more than 90 countries so they can make locally relevant information available, which we display on our homepage and in panels that appear on videos and in search results about COVID-19. Collectively, these panels have been shown more than 200 billion times, and I've seen those. Great idea. Nothing to say further than that. You've done well with that. The COVID thing, Susan, I got to say, you and your company have handled the COVID thing, for the most part, pretty well. The only issue I have is that you're basically giving people the freedom to cyberbully and harass without any strikes for getting community guidelines. You just take the video down, which means they can still stream, they can still create more hateful content. I don't think you should have removed the penalties temporarily just because of the fact that you have fewer human reviewers and you're relying more on technology. Because there are many, many creators out there that would have been shut down for exactly what you're saying right now had you not put those measures in place. YouTube also launched a dedicated COVID-19 news shelf with videos from health authorities and news organizations in more than 30 countries around the world. We found that when people come to YouTube searching for coronavirus topics, on average, 94% of the videos they see in the top 10 results come from high authority channels. We think this is important progress even as we keep working to bring that number higher. Okay, I understand that. Especially for something like COVID-19, you want to have authoritative figures that have actual facts to bring to the table. Most of us YouTubers, we more so respond to things. We have opinions. We may, have some facts about certain aspects, but as far as COVID-19, the mainstream media is going to find out more factual information first. So that's why you're highlighting them for the COVID-19 aspect. In my opinion, I think that was well handled. The only thing I didn't like was the fact that you folks are not penalizing any creator for violating guidelines during this time. If their video gets removed, they don't get a strike, which means they can come right back and re-upload or upload again or live stream again. There was one creator that went down for a video that, violated your guidelines. You removed the video, you didn't give him a strike. He mentioned this. And then about an hour later, he re-uploaded the same video to the same channel that was taken down by you. I flagged that video again, and you folks did nothing about it. It's the only problem I have with the whole COVID-19 thing. Besides that, well handled. In addition to raising up trusted information, we have also been focused on combating harmful medical misinformation. That's a great thing. That's a good thing to do. We're consulting on an ongoing basis with health authorities like the WHO and local organizations like the CDC, the Korean Ministry of Health and Welfare, and India's Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, as well as expert medical and public health professionals to design policies based on the latest science. We updated our policies to prohibit content with harmful medical information. For example, saying the virus is a hoax or claiming there's a guaranteed cure. To date, we've removed over 200,000 videos for violating these policies. I think if somebody states their opinion in a chat or on a live stream and doesn't say it's a fact, there's a difference between fact and opinion. So hopefully these videos that have been removed because these people are claiming what they're saying is factual. If it's an opinion they're stating, then that's not necessarily a fact. That's an opinion. Just like Queen Helen Casey and I have our opinions about this. We've made our opinions many times, haven't been taken down once. So I'm sure it's more about the people that have been trying to say that what they're putting out there is factual to try to get more views and all eyes on them. We also understand the importance of representing a broad set of voices in the public debate. There are a range of opinions on topics like how governments respond to the crisis, when and how we should reopen economies, and criticism of health authorities and government officials. Right, with this George Floyd thing, those Minneapolis police officers need to be criticized forever. You probably agree with me, Susan. That was a big boo-boo they made. We want to ensure these important discussions continue on the platform, even as we work to combat misinformation. Well, good. All right. That's some transparency there. Let me see. Creators also have an important role to play in helping connect people to useful information. 40 high-profile creators have spoken with leading health officials, including Dr. Jamie Sepulveda's Spanish language interviews with creators, and Dr. Anthony Fauci's conversations with Trevor Noah, Dr. Mike Lilly Singh, Phil DeFranco, Dr. Regina Benjamin, and Dr. Georges Benjamin, all highlighted there. You can click on them and go to the channels or find out more about them. Also spoke with Black creators about the impact of COVID-19 on the Black community. These creator interviews have been seen in more than 160 countries and received more than 43 million views. I haven't had more than 300 views on a video like in a month. I haven't had a video with 1,000 views in God knows how long. Where are my views? Guess they're not here yet. I guess I haven't earned them yet. Not special enough. It's all right. One day. And more than 700 creators and artists joined YouTube's #WithMe public service announcement (PSA) campaign, encouraging users to stay home and highlighting important messages about how to stop the virus. These public service announcements are reaching people around the world. They've received over 3 billion impressions. Thank you to all of our creators who led the way with this initiative. You know, I might be able to get through this whole thing tonight in one show. It's probably going to take another hour, and I'm probably going to do it. I'm at an hour and 2 minutes right now. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to cue up some music, take a little bit of a break, and then come back and finish it up. Give me 1 second here. All right. Let me just cue up some music here right now. And then I will read the chat. And then I'll take a 5 to 7 or 8 minute break or so. All right. Give me just 1 second here. All right. All right, let me check out the chat here real quick, catch up with that. Queen Helen Casey, sorry. Gia Love says, I'm white and I don't have white guilt. I don't have white guilt either. But because you've done nothing wrong to anybody, probably, Gia, neither have I. Ever since I was a little kid, I've had Black friends, Asian friends, Hispanic friends. I'm a multicultural kind of guy. I've dated women from all cultures and races. I'm an equal opportunity lover. If that even makes any sense, it probably does. So I get it. I get it. Stephanie Ellis, aka Super Steph's in the house. How you doing, Steph? Welcome to the show. Thank you for being here. No members only video today. I'm going to do one tomorrow. I had some things come up, but there'll be a new video coming tomorrow. So stick around for that. Quinn Helen Casey, YouTube bots are running everything. Partially, but there's a lot of human reviewing happening too. It's just that I think what's happening, Queen, is that the human reviewers, most of them are probably not trained properly. And there's probably a lot of mistakes made from human reviewers, and who knows? Maybe some of their reviews are biased according to how they feel about what's being flagged. I mean, you know, if a YouTube employee that's conservative gets a flagged video from a conservative channel where the person flagging them is saying it's hate speech and vulgar language, they might say it's not, even though it is, right? So, like, how do you ensure that your employees are being biased? Sorry, are not being biased. Sorry. How do you ensure, Susan, that your employees are not being biased with their reviews on these flags regarding these videos for hate speech, vulgar language, cyberbullying, harassment, inappropriate content, right? Are all of these people trained to be unbiased? And even if they're trained that way and they say they're going to be that way, is that what they're actually doing? It's a good point. A lot of good points. Gia Love, so are we talking about YouTube or the country? Muttnuts World. Gia, the blog is from the CEO of YouTube. Gia Love. Oh, okay. Thanks, Muttnuts. Mutt, do you know who Gia Love is? Let me refresh this here real quick because it's not allowing me to go to the channel with my extension. Give me a second. Just 1 second, please. Okay, thanks, Mutt, says Gia. Muttnuts World says you're welcome. Gia, Queen Ellen Casey, I already saw what happened in Minneapolis, and it was a mess with everything being gone. Agree that Queen, says Gia Love. Sounds like a good plan, says Mutt's World. Queen Helen Casey. I will never forget Minneapolis because that was the first city I saw burn. Me too, Queen. All right. All right. Anyway, give me 1 second here. Give me 1 second here. All right. So, folks, we are at 1 hour and 7 minutes. Oh, just a second here. We are at 1 hour and 7 minutes, and I'm going to step away for a quick 5 to 7 or 8 minute break and then come back and probably take another 45 minutes to 1 hour to finish the rest of this. I want to get it done in one shot. So let me switch back over to the full screen for right now. And stick around. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back. Oh yeah, I want you to feel it. Crank it up! Crank it up and feel it! Feel it! Crank it up, 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 up! Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You feel it? You feel it, Mutt? You feel it, Queen? You feel it, Gia? You feel it, Super Steph? You feel it, Beer Master? If you're still around, Alex, the Beer Master? Oh, yeah. All right, all right, all right. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli live here on YouTube, the world's most awesome and interesting platform regarding social media. There's no place like YouTube. I mean, we've always said there's no place like home, right, everyone? But there's no place like YouTube, right? Oh, man. Now, let me check out the chat here real quick before I get back to doing the final part of this blog here. Let's see. Mutnuts World says, sorry, stepped away, had to use the little girl's room, but back. Well, welcome back, Mutt. Hope you feel better. Hope you feel empty now. Gia Love says, Queen, I will be back. Well, you're welcome back anytime, Gia. I'm just wondering why my plugin is not working here. Give me a second here. Oh, man. Okay. I don't know why, but that's okay. I'll fix it another time. All right. Mutnuts World says, here just eating some cherries because I'm practicing social distancing from the junk food. That's great, Mutt. Great work on your diet there. Make sure you start making those vlog videos to track your progress. I'm sure your followers will love that, and you'll gain a bunch of new followers doing that. Queen Helen Casey says, okay, Gia. Queen Helen Casey furthermore says, Mutt, you can't social distance from junk food. Well, she can if she wants, Queen. That's up to her. The question is, does she have the willpower to do it? I think she does. I think she really does. Gee, I love funny at Mutt Nuts. Maybe you can teach me because I'm having ice cream. Who doesn't like ice cream? With moderation every now and then, it's okay. But if you eat tubs and tubs of ice cream every day, that's not going to help the diet out. That's not going to help you to maintain your health if you're healthy, or get healthy if you're not healthy, right? Mutnuts World says it is hard. I need the social distance from junk food, but I'm trying. But I love my cherries, okay? Cherries with moderation are fine. They have natural sugar in them. So it's better than eating the regular sugar. But when you put cherries in cherry pie, they add a bunch more sugar to it unless you get the sugar-free pies, right? And then you still have to moderate them, right? You have to eat them with moderation. I've been able, Mutnuts World furthermore says, I've been able to social distance from the chips and the candies, but I can't social distance from my soda. I got to have my caffeine. How about diet drinks? I drink nothing but diet soda, 0 to very minimal calories. Some of them have a few calories, some have 0 calories. Trust me, soda, if you cut out the soda, the regular soda, that is going to make a huge, huge difference on your weight loss journey, Mutt, and you're going to accomplish your goals much faster. If you cut out the regular soda, you're going to be cutting out so many calories per day that you're going to watch that weight melt right off. I'm telling you. But some people say, diet soda sucks, plus it has aspartame in it, and it's not good for you. Well, you got to decide, what's more unhealthy, being overweight or drinking diet soda to get back into shape that has aspartame in it, right? It's your call. I prefer to go the aspartame way. however you pronounce that word, but you know what I mean. That's just my opinion. The health nuts out there will say I'm crazy, but that's just my opinion. Queen Helen Case says, Mutt, I can't drink pop no more. I was putting on too much weight plus having seizures on top of it, so I did the right thing by getting off the pop. Good for you, Queen. Diet soda every now and then would be okay. Mutt Nuts World says, wow, Queen. Mutt Nuts World says, I can't drink diet soda. I don't know why. Play makes me sick to my stomach. If I drink diet soda, I used to drink Coke Zero or the orange vanilla Coke or Sprite. All right, give me 1 second here. I want to let me see here. Give me 1 second here. What is going on? No, let me just try to reset this one more time. Give me 1 second. I'm not able, the go-to channel extension seems to not be loading up on my live stream, so I can't check out channels. So I'm going to try to refresh it one more time. Queen Helen Casey says, I don't drink diet pop either. Okay, just waiting. I'm going to do a little test here. Just waiting to see if the next person that pops up, it'll highlight their name. Okay. All right, let's get back to this and finish up this this blog. Let's go back to the email browser source. Yeah, for some reason it is not working. I don't know if YouTube has found a way to prevent this thing from working. Anyway. All right. Learning. YouTube has always been a key learning resource, but we are now seeing a record amount of engagement. The average daily views of videos with homeschooling in the title have more than tripled globally in the last 3 months. Okay, that's fantastic. YouTube is a great place for learning. I've learned a lot from YouTube, how to update or upgrade my laptop, how to fix certain things, like the how-to stuff on YouTube. Phenomenal. Phenomenal genre. One of my favorite genres. If I need to learn how to do something that I don't know or I need a refresher, I can find many videos on it. Fantastic. As students began learning from home, hang on a second. Some of the first events we featured on Learn at Home were live streams hosted by the College Board to help high school students prepare for advanced placement tests in May. The response exceeded our expectations. The videos from the first day of live streaming have received more than 700,000 views. Wow, I'd like a piece of that pie, Susan. And students preparing for AP exams through the daily live streams received unexpected support from Lynn-Manuel Miranda, who recently hosted a special edition U.S. History Masterclass. Creators have launched live stream series to help students of all ages stay motivated to learn at home, from Khan Academy to Mark Robert to 3 Blue, 1 Brown. And we've seen new read-alongs for children like PBS Kids with Michelle Obama and Dolly Parton's weekly Good Night with Dolly. It's fantastic. I mean, look, this is great. This is awesome. This is fantastic. This is the good stuff that YouTube is doing, and it's working. But these are big names. These are people that are very well known to the point of where all they have to do is put up a YouTube channel and they'll get a large following. What about the average everyday creator, which is what this platform was initially created for? I'm not hearing much about that. I'm really not. And students are even finding ways to keep up with physical education on YouTube by tuning into daily shows like PE with Joe or taking a dance break with Kids Bob. Okay. Again, you know, this sounds very mainstream to me. And while I understand in order for YouTube to make the money they've been making lately, to finally make the money they needed to make all along after all the loss they've incurred over the years, or the losses they've incurred over the years, like, what's going on with the typical creator that makes YouTube so special? I'm not hearing much about that at all. Enabling online connections and communities. In our house, kids aren't just learning online. They're also virtually celebrating holidays, birthdays, and even hosting sleepovers with their friends. Great. That's awesome. It's good that they're doing that. We're finding new ways to connect, and at YouTube, we're seeing communities bringing people together online. That's great. That's what it's all about. This is about bringing people together, right? People are using live streams at a much higher rate, with live watch time on TV screens up over 250% year over year on YouTube globally during the height of stay-at-home measures around the world. I love watching YouTube stuff on my TV. You have the YouTube app. If your phone is connected to your home network through Wi-Fi and you have an internet-enabled TV, you can actually tell your YouTube app to play your video or to show a live stream on your TV, on the TV of your choice. And if you have multiple smart TVs, your iPhone or your Android through the YouTube app will allow you to select the proper TV. Now, don't select the wrong TV, because if you live with some other people and you click the wrong TV, then you're going to be playing your video on their TV, and they're not going to like that, right? Live streams are also helping us capture moments that otherwise would have been lost, like graduation ceremonies. To mark this key milestone, we developed an online hashtag Dear Class of 2020 commencement headed by President Barack Obama and featuring Lady Gaga, Dude Perfect, Jackie Aina, however you pronounce it, the Try Guys, Malala Yousafzai, or whatever, former Secretary of Defense Robert M. Gates, former Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice, and Google's own Sundar Pichai. Sundar Pichai is the CEO of Google, working hand in hand with Susan on the YouTube thing between both companies. Well, Google owns YouTube. We all know that. So, again, I'm hearing a lot of mainstream stuff here. What about the average everyday creator, which is what this platform was created for? Creators have also stepped in to support global relief efforts like Jacksepticeye's live stream, hashtag Hope from Home, which raised money for the United Way. Creators in the United Kingdom came together for Stream, hashtag With Me, a live fundraiser benefiting NHS, and artists and creators joined One Love Asia, a concert benefiting UNICEF. To enable the YouTube community to have even more impact, this year we've expanded the access to our donate button from 1,500 eligible channels to more than 40,000, allowing more creators to easily engage their audiences on causes they care about. I think you have to have like 100,000 subscribers to qualify for that or something. I cannot remember, but you need to have a lot of subscribers. And there's some other criteria. I'm not going to get into it now, but not that many creators have that. And I can understand people, would abuse it. They want to give it to people they trust. I get it. All right. Let me check out the chat here before I continue. All right, let me see here real quick. Yeah, it's very interesting that this... Give me a second here. All right. I just sent a message in Hangouts, says Queen. So just letting you know, just ignore that person. Ignore anyone that's contacting you. They are sending you empty threats. And they're doing that because they just want to get a reaction from you and me. Trust me, we talked earlier today. Nothing's going to happen. Let that person make her empty threats all she wants. Because let me tell you something, Queen Helen Casey, and she's probably watching me right now. The bottom line is, if this woman does not back off from you, from me, or anyone else, there is a legal recourse I have in my back pocket that I will use. That's not a threat, it's a promise. Just know, Queen, we've talked about it. So if she doesn't learn to just walk away peacefully and handle this maturely and stop harassing you, okay, you let me know and I will tell you. I will take the next step in what I have to do to protect my channel and the people I care for, properly, professionally, and legally. All right, let's continue here. Welcoming new creativity. Even during these incredibly difficult times, we're seeing unprecedented creativity from our creative community, but the views are down for everyone. Because creators are experts at filming to suit any style, from high production to garage studios, they were able to quickly adapt and make content that reflected our new reality, from yoga for stress release to quarantine routines. Okay, that's great. Yeah, a lot of people blew up during this time because they targeted a market that typically isn't home all the time, and there were a lot of people that took advantage of this opportunity and were able to go viral and get over 1 million subscribers very quickly. That's rare, but it happened. So that's good. And artists are bringing fans together online and making YouTube a virtual concert venue. Bands like the Rolling Stones, Radiohead, and the Grateful Dead are releasing live concert footage every week, giving fans something to look forward to while staying at home. Brazilian singer Mariela Mendonça, I don't even know a lot of these people, hosted a live stream concert on YouTube from her home last month, and the video has been viewed more than 20 million times. Again, Susan, I have to ask, these are mainstream media popular people. What about the average everyday YouTuber that's joining the platform? When are we going to talk about them? That's what I really want to ask. Or are we truly turning YouTube into a mainstream media platform? I really wanted to see more in this blog regarding individual creators at a general level. We're also welcoming cultural institutions that are creating or expanding their YouTube channels, giving audiences the chance to tune into legendary performances from the Bolshoi Theater. God, a lot of fancy names. Weekly releases of Andrew Lloyd Webber musicals on The Shows Must Go On, and Shakespeare plays streamed by the Globe Theater. That's great. More mainstream stuff. And there's been a rise in new formats for content during quarantine. We've seen YouTube's first virtual fashion show and a streaming global film festival. Fantastic. Gaming creators are also drawing new audiences. Travis Scott leveraged the power of the popular game Fortnite to perform unreleased music to viewers around the globe without ever leaving his house. Viewers tuned into live streams from Flake's Power, Muselek, Avaxry, I don't know how to pronounce these names, Valkyrie, and other gaming creators, with all four experiences gathering 100 million views on YouTube. Where's my even 1,000 views or 2,000 views? Where are my views? Guess I'm not good enough. At least not yet. Anyway, give me a second. Thank you to all creators and organizations who are releasing new content during this time. From tips for working at home to DIY advice from a dad who launched a YouTube channel to answer questions like how to hang a shelf or unclog a drain. Yeah, that's that new channel that got 1 million subscribers. I cannot remember what the name of that channel is. Actually, I can look it up real quick. Yeah, Dad, how do I? Now he has 2.3 million views. 2.3 million subscribers on a channel that's been around a few months. How lucky can some people get? Whether your views are in the hundreds, well, that's me, Susan. My views are in the hundreds. Or in the millions, you're making the world a little brighter for someone watching from home. Well, some more than others, right? I'm not trying to be bitter, and I'm not trying to be jealous or anything like that. I'm not trying to be frustrated. I'm trying to be mature about this, but hearing all these stories and working hard, and being consistent with good content every day and not being able to break that YouTube algorithm. It's frustrating, Susan, and I haven't heard one thing about, regular creators and how you're going to help them. You're acknowledging the ones that have made it happen during this time, but what are you going to do for the ones that are struggling but doing everything right? It's my question. YouTube creator updates. Okay, maybe here we'll hear something. As creators rose to meet the challenges of the pandemic, they also faced obstacles along the way. We know the uncertainty of the past few months has been hard, and our team is working to provide support. In March, we adjusted our policy to enable ads for content from creators and news organizations discussing the coronavirus. That was a great move. And you did it at the right time. I know that initially you had to demonetize those videos, and I get it, but you opened it up and you did the right thing. And for the most part, I've seen responsible usage of that topic. So great job on that. I will give you that, Susan. Absolutely. Given fluctuations with the advertising market, we are encouraging creators to also invest in other forms of monetization to grow and diversify their revenue, because with the amount of views we're getting, 200-300 views, even though we're monetized, we're going to make less than $1 per video. Since the beginning of March, we saw over 2 million viewers support creators by purchasing their first super chat, super sticker, or membership on YouTube. I haven't had a super chat in ages. I guess nobody likes me, or nobody feels I'm worthy of money. Now, with the exception of Mutt Nuts Reviews and, Super Steph, who are members, I appreciate you. That's all I got for right now. So, not trying to be angry or bitter, just stating the facts. It's been a challenge, but I keep coming back every day. I keep coming back each and every day, waiting for that day where the YouTube algorithm changes my life, Susan. I'm waiting for that day. Okay. The number of creators earning the majority of their YouTube revenue from memberships and paid digital goods is up 40% since January. That's because you opened up memberships to everybody in the partner program. So obviously that's going to go up. But that looks good, but you opened up memberships to everyone, which is not a bad idea. And with more artists now going live on YouTube, we recently announced that we'll be extending the availability of Super Chat and Super Stickers to more artists' channels. Why would it not be available in the same way it's available for everyone? You have to be a part of the YouTube Partner Program. Being part of the YouTube Partner Program, you get ads, you get Super Chats, Super Stickers, and you get memberships. And eventually, when you get to 10K subs, you get a merch wall. So, are you saying that you're going to give Super Chat access and Super Sticker access to more artist channels before they get into the partner program? Because then there'd be, well, I guess you could still pay them through the AdSense account, but I'm not quite sure what you meant by that. Anyway, this year we've also worked to give creators more control over monetization decisions and to provide transparency with our policies by expanding self-certification. Great idea there. To all creators in the YouTube Partner Program, YPP, with self-certification, creators tell us what's in their video and how it complies with our ad-friendly guidelines. That only applies to pre-recorded videos that you upload before you publish. When you're live, you can't self-certify a live stream because it's happening live, and no one knows what's going to happen live until the replay. So we need to find a better way to prevent live streams from being demonetized, Susan, because if you get the yellow icon by mistake during a live stream and you get your most viewers during that live stream, you're losing a lot of ad revenue. So there's got to be a way to even self-certify that you promise on this live stream to be ad-friendly, right? And that way you don't get demonetized. There have been many live streams, hasn't happened for a while, but in the past, there were many times where I'd get a yellow icon during the live stream, and then once the replay was done processing, it would flip to green, fully monetized. But how much ad revenue did I lose when the majority of my views came while I was broadcasting live? It's another thing to look at, but it's great for pre-recorded videos. Let's say you put a lot of time and effort into pre-recorded video and you want to make sure it doesn't get wrongfully demonetized before you publish it. You upload the video to private or unlisted, okay? The YouTube system, you self-certify it. The YouTube system will scan it, and then, it'll, either turn green or yellow. And then you want to probably wait a few hours so it doesn't flip. Once it's done scanning it, doesn't flip for a few hours, you can flip that to public, and then boom, all those views will be monetized. So that's a great fix for that, but what about the live streams? In the past few weeks, you may have heard questions raised about Section 230. Oh, this is my favorite. A regulation in the United States law that allows YouTube to be an open platform while protecting the community from harmful content, like content that incites violence or endangers children. We believe undermining Section 230 would impact our ability to protect our users and would also significantly limit content from a wide range of creators across the political spectrum who have a voice on our platform. In other words, you're saying if Section 230 gets rewritten or gets deleted, that YouTube is going to become completely a mainstream media platform, and the average everyday creator like me will no longer exist. I agree with you, Susan. I think it's a bad move to change it. No one is silencing conservative speech. These conservatives are just, spewing hate and racial slurs and all that stuff instead of just focusing on the topic. It's not about the topic being controversial. It's about how they present the controversial topic. I talk about the same exact things like I mentioned earlier, and I never get demonetized. I never get removed. So why do these people get removed? Why do the conservatives get removed? At least the ones that do get removed for talking about the same subjects. It's because they also add racial hate, racial slurs, hate. They attack people, etc. They don't do it maturely and professionally. So I get that. Such a change might require online services like YouTube to overfilter content, making it more difficult for creators to share breaking news, create learning content, expose injustice, and amplify a diversity of voices and opinions. We'll continue to work on your behalf to explain how eroding 230 would harm the creator ecosystem globally. I agree with you on Section 230. I do, completely. Completely agree with you on that. All right, let's see how much more we have. Oh, we're almost done. We have one more part here, the mental health part. Let me check out the chat real quick before we get to that. Let's see what's going on. All right. Don't know that person in the music world. Yeah, I didn't know many of those people that Susan mentioned, Queen Helen Casey. It only applies to the government. What are you talking about? Section 230 only applies to the government, Queen? So is it because, and Queen, again, you know I have a lot of love for you. And, you know, even though I didn't vote for Trump and I'm not a Trump supporter, doesn't mean I don't like some of the things he's done. He's done some good things. But some things he's done I disagree with. And the Section 230 thing has to do with President Trump being a little hurt, you know, because he was fact-checked by Twitter. And so, you know, I don't feel the government or the president should get preferential treatment to social media sites solely on the fact that they're the president. That's just not fair. That's not the way a good leader should lead their country or lead their people. You need to lead by example. And as much as I don't agree with many of the things, I mean, I'm not saying I disagree with everything Susan put in this blog. I agree and understand pretty much why she did everything. What more so I'm saying is I think there would be a better way to do most of the things that she said. When it comes to regular everyday creators that built this platform initially. Now, if YouTube is turning more into a mainstream platform and they're focused more on the mainstream stuff, Susan being politically correct, she has to do that. And I think what's going to happen down the road, it's going to continue happening, is that the average everyday creator is still going to be welcome here in the same ways. It's just that they're not going to be the main focus because they're not the main revenue generators. It's the bigger companies that are the main revenue generators. But again, if they didn't at least try to help us out, then we wouldn't be around to consume the content from these major players while we try to grow our YouTube channels and struggle to grow them even when we're doing everything right. So anyway, let me get to this final part here because I'm at an hour and 48 minutes and then we're going to wrap this up. Let's get back to it. Mental health. YouTube creators have long been known for their authenticity, and I appreciate how creators have openly shared how hard it is to create content as we navigate new challenges. I've been talking about that this whole stream. I hope I don't get demonetized. If I end this stream and have a yellow icon because of the topic, then it's going to bug me. I'll send it in for manual review, and it'll probably flip to green. But I'm really hoping I don't get demonetized for talking about the same stuff that the CEO of YouTube just talked about and me critiquing it, me doing a reaction video to it, a response video to it, right? It is important for all of us to make our mental health and well-being a top priority. No kidding. I got sick myself with the common cold, not coronavirus, earlier on a few months ago. And then I pulled a muscle. Not pulled a muscle. I got sore from hiking, and then I pinched a nerve, which is what I'm trying to say. So let me tell you something. It's been a little bit of a struggle, but I keep pushing forward. God dang it. Someone's trying to text me here, and I got to get back to them. Give me a second. Fuck, man. Hang on. Hang on. All right, sorry about that. All right, people come to YouTube every day. Hang on. People come to YouTube every day looking for information and resources, and we realize we have a tremendous opportunity to shine a light on various health issues. Yeah, and I have also subscribed to a few new physical therapist channels because of what I've been going through. And I'm glad to have the opportunity and the options to do so on this great platform. That's great. Over the last few months, we've seen a 45% increase in views of meditation videos and a growing popularity of mindfulness and well-being content. Well, I'm part of that mindfulness and well-being, content. Where's my increase in views? My views decreased in half. Well, part of that has to do because I got rid of a hateful audience. But where are my increase in views for this popular topic? A 45% increase in views of meditation videos and a growing popularity of mindfulness and well-being content. Still waiting. Our teams also recently expanded the tools available to users to help prioritize well-being. We've added a new bedtime reminder in addition to our take a break option to help viewers manage their time on YouTube. This is on the YouTube app. I don't have any of those reminders turned on. I can control my own destiny on YouTube, but if you need the app to remind you when to go to bed because you're watching too much YouTube, then I think you have more issues beyond that. That's just my opinion. And through our Get By #WithMe campaign, we partner with creators to spotlight videos like why support helps with Katie Morton. Creators like Katie are helping educate and reduce the stigma associated with mental health. The past few months have been incredibly challenging, and we still have a long road ahead of us. But even in these difficult circumstances, I'm finding glimmers of hope every day on YouTube. Your passion and creativity have been inspiring. You're reminding us to look for the good even when so many things about life feel out of order. Thank you for being a part of our community. Whether you're connecting with people on YouTube across your city or across the world, your voices are coming together to make a difference. Susan Wojcicki. I would have liked to have seen a sincerely Susan Wojcicki on that, but it's not there. That's just me. All right, folks, let me switch back to the full screen there. And give me just a second here to reset that web browser. And let me check out the chat real quick before I give my final statement here. All right. Nothing new happening in the chat. What's my final take on this blog by Susan Wojcicki? Again, I understand why she wrote it the way she wrote it. She is the CEO of one of the largest companies in the world and probably the most difficult social media company to run on the planet. YouTube is a beast. And you can keep on hiring and hiring and hiring people to try to manage it better, and it's still not easy. You have to train people, specifically train people on how to handle people's behaviors and stuff like that. What's hate speech? What's not hate speech? What's it subjective to? What that individual reviewer sees it as, or what the law sees it as, or what's it subjective to? It's not an easy thing to run. So I understand, again, why Susan Wojcicki wrote her blog the way she wrote it. Was it more PC than I would have liked to have seen? Absolutely. Am I disappointed that she went PC at all? No, I think to a certain extent, anyone in her position would have to be somewhat PC, but I honestly think this blog was 100% written in a politically correct format. I also believe that this blog was reviewed and edited and not put out raw or edited by herself. And again, I understand why Susan had to focus a lot of her energy on Black Lives Matter. I get that. I feel terrible about what's happened to people like George Floyd and to other Black people, African American people, what they've been through in the past and what they're currently going through. Good night, Mutt. Thank you for stopping by. But even though we have a lot of issues that stem from specific groups of people, we can't eliminate other groups. We can't forget about the other people that are a part of our community or communities. YouTube is one community. It is one global community. YouTube's focus should not be on one specific community. YouTube should not single out one specific community. I honestly think that YouTube should be a little more neutral. Now, they can make a statement like Susan did and say, we feel terrible about what happened to George Floyd. And, we're doing whatever we can to protect our ecosystem out here on YouTube, from any racial hate, period. Not just for the Black people, the African Americans, but for every culture. I can understand why she had to make that statement based on what happened. But then to invest $100 million into the Black community, which I'm not against that. I love everybody. I don't want the African Americans to think I don't want them to get the money. I think you deserve it, right? I do. But where's my piece of the pie? What if I come out and say, okay, now I feel like maybe I'm being discriminated against for being white. that's an example. I don't feel that way, or I'm not saying I feel that way, but I'm a little disappointed because I'd like a piece of that pie myself. And if I was Black, I'd be getting a piece of that pie. Maybe by getting more views or getting a part of that money somehow, right? Taking it to that level makes other groups feel excluded. And again, I understand why Susan and YouTube did this. But again, I feel there could have been a better way to include everyone. Here's my commitment, what I would have said as a CEO. Here's my commitment not only to the Black community out there, but every community out there, from the Caucasians to the African Americans to the Asians, the Hispanics, everyone. I'm going to put in $100 million into stopping global hate amongst all races, amongst all nationalities, ethnicities, right? Just my opinion. It may not mean much to YouTube. It may not mean much to Susan. I hope it does. This video will probably not even get much of any traction for anyone to hear it, because no matter what I seem to do, no matter how hard I try, and how well I optimize my videos, my topics, my titles, descriptions, tags, thumbnails, all that, I can't get a break through the algorithm. So not many people will probably see this anyway, but at least the people that do see it hopefully understand where I'm coming from. I'm all about everyone having a fair chance. I'm all about everybody having an equal opportunity despite who you are. Once again, despite your age, sex, race, national origin, sexual orientation, it doesn't matter. I'm going to wrap up by saying, once again, the only thing that really matters to me about people is the type of person you are. Do you have a lot of love within you? Do you love yourself to the point of where you can give love back? Do you reciprocate to others? Do you give without expectation? Do you give to give, not give to get? Do you have a big heart, soul? Are you kind, caring, and considerate to others besides yourself? What type of person are you? The type of person you are is not defined by anything besides your actions that you take. Let me repeat that one more time. The type of person you are is defined by the actions you take. And that's where I'm going to end this video here today, or this stream here today, at 2 hours and 1 minute. I want to thank everyone for being here. Gia, thank you for being here earlier. Please feel free to come back anytime. Quinn Helen Casey, thank you for being here. Nuts Reviews, thank you for being here. Stephanie Ellis, aka Super Step, thank you for being here. Thank you to Alex the Beer Master for being here. Thank you to Clifford Starks, who was here earlier, and anyone else that was watching that may have been in the chat and I may have missed or you didn't chat. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you folks got some value out of this. Please share your thoughts below in the comments section if you're watching this on the replay, in case you weren't here live. Subscribe, bang the bell, select all notifications. Please like and share as well. And with that being said, have yourselves a great night, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye. We're out. We're out. We're out. I'm hoping this does not get demonetized. That's all I got to say. It's the last thing I want to deal with right now. All right, we're out.